I hope that's a conscious decision that we are committing to together. That when the storms come, when the darkness comes, I'm choosing to hold on to my faith and to expect better things. Because the King is alive. And His Spirit is inside of me. And I am so thankful for that grace. I can't help but choose joy. It is a conscious choice. It's a conscious decision to make. This is what Paul challenges us to in Philippians chapter 4. In verse 4, as Paul is kind of wrapping up his letter to the Philippians, he says, rejoice in the Lord always. And then he kind of doubles down. He's like, you know what? I really, really mean that. I'll say it again. Rejoice. Have joy. Choose joy. That's what Paul calls us to. Things may be going awesome. The job is great. I got a raise. Health is good. Kids aren't in trouble. Everything's going great. Choose joy. Celebrate that. Look at the blessings that God has given me. I'm choosing to celebrate that and be thankful for it. Things may be falling apart. Everything's on fire. The storms are coming. I'm in the dark. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm confused. I'm hurt. Chaos is everywhere. Choose joy. Rejoice in the Lord when? Always. Choose joy. If you have tuned out or missed everything else that we have talked about and sung about and prayed about this morning, this is the thing I want you to know and commit to choose joy. Choose joy. It's not just what God calls us to, it is what God gives us. God produces joy in my life so that it can shine out of my life. Choose joy. We've been asking the last several weeks, how would my life be different if I was better at navigating certain emotions? If I was better at navigating my anger, what kind of impact would that have on my family? If I was better at navigating my fear, what kind of impact would that have on my life or the people that I'm connected to? If I was better at navigating my sadness, how would that affect my job? How would that affect my faith? I'm change the question just slightly this morning. But I challenge you to write it down, screenshot it, think on it. How would my life be different if I was more consistent at choosing joy? Choosing to be thankful for the blessings and the grace that God has given me on a regular basis and letting that pour out of my life. How would that impact my marriage if I was more consistent at choosing joy? Not that I'm not going to feel anger and frustration. That's going to happen. Not that I'm going to feel sadness. That's going to happen. I'm going to choose to focus on joy. What would that do to my marriage? How would that affect my relationship with my kids? How would that affect my relationship with my parents? What kind of impact would it make on my friendships, on my connections with my coworkers? If I committed every day on my way to work, no matter what happens today, no matter what the boss says, no matter what deadline I miss, no matter what project gets dumped in my lap, I'm choosing joy. What would my workday be like? What kind of impact would it have on my neighborhood, on our community? If this group of people that is in this room right now, is watching online, decided, no matter what, starting today and days forward, I'm going to choose joy. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not hurt when I'm hurting. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not angry when I feel pain or injustice. I'm not going to push away sadness, but I'm not going to stay in it. I want to choose joy. What kind of impact would that have on our community, on this world? If the people of Christ committed together, no matter what happens, no matter what Satan throws at us, no matter what we experience in this world, we are choosing joy. We change the world. But it starts with you and it starts with me. I have to make that choice. You have to make that choice. It's a conscious decision on a daily basis. I want to recognize the blessing that God has given me. I want to be thankful for them. And that is going to pour out of my facial expressions, my words, my attitude, my actions. I want to choose joy. I've seen this on display lots of different times in my life. Lots of different people that I've interacted with. And the one person that continues to come to mind, and honestly, if you've been a part of this church family for a while, you've heard me talk about her. She was an older lady that was at the church at Southside over in Rogers when I was serving that church. And her name was Miss Joyce. And I apologize for telling you about Miss Joyce again, but you can't think about joy and not think about Miss Joyce. Sweetest lady in the world. Didn't always have things go her way. She lost a son to a boating accident. She sat on the shores of Beaver Lake for 3 days, waiting for them to drag his body on shore, and was there when they found him. I can't imagine that kind of devastation. Her husband was a hard worker that took care of her, had a stroke, became at least partially, if not mostly, paralyzed. Couldn't speak. Wheelchair bound. She took care of him for years. She had her various health issues. Things happened with her family. And I'm not saying that Joyce didn't ever get sad. She did. She mourned. She grieved. She struggled. But that woman chose joy. Because she would come to church with a smile on her face. And it wasn't fake. And she would come up to people and say, "Oh, isn't it so great that we can be here? Isn't it a blessing?" And later on in her life, when she had to move to an assisted facility place, she would get her walker out and walk to Walmart. I don't think she was supposed to, but she did. And she would just walk up and down, and she might, find something to buy for herself. But Christy and I remember one specific day, we had our little boys with us, our 3 little boys in our cart, and it was chaos in a cart, man. They're screaming, different ones are crying or wanting something. And, you have those moments in the store where the kids are like, if anybody sees me right now, they're going to call Child Protective Services, right? So I better not do whatever, It's just chaos. And we see Miss Joyce. And while our boys are being all chaotic, Miss Joyce comes out and she's like, "Isn't it a blessing? Isn't it a blessing having these little boys?" And I was thinking, nope, it's not. But she said, "Isn't just watching them grow and watching them experiencing that great?" And she's like, "I just look at," she looks at Walmart. "Look at all the things we have that we can buy. Isn't that wonderful?" And she had just come in her little walker just to walk the aisles of Walmart. She would go visit the hospitals to people who needed her, who didn't even know that they needed her. When her husband died, the day that he died, word went out. He was in the hospital. He wasn't going to last much longer. I went up to the hospital to try to be a source of encouragement for her. And she was sad. She was tearful. She wasn't pretending this wasn't a difficult situation. And I showed up to pray with her and to try to be a source of strength for her and encourage her. And I left feeling so good. She encouraged me. She talked to me about how good God had been in her life. And I was thinking about all the different things that she had suffered. And she was talking about how good he was. That's what joy looks like. I don't know that Miss Joyce, I don't know that you could say that she changed the world with how she chose joy. But if a lot more of us were like her, we'd change the world. So let's be people who choose joy. Let's make that choice every day, starting today. I know how good God is. I'm thankful for how good he's been. I'm expecting him to continue to be good to me and for me. And I want to choose joy. If you don't have a relationship with God, if you're not connected with him at all, if you haven't been washed by the blood of his son, you don't have a spirit living in you, you can't experience that kind of joy. You can experience happiness, you can experience some level of joy, but not the kind of joy that our God provides. And so here in a second, we're going to stand up together and we're going to sing a song. We're going to sing a song about our thankfulness, and we're going to sing a song of joy to thank God for what He's done in our life. And if in that moment you recognize, I don't have that kind of joy in my life and I want it, you're welcome to come to the front and tell us that. I'm ready to experience that kind of joy. And we'll help make that happen. If there was a time in your life when you felt that joy, you sensed it, you knew it, it poured out of your life, and it doesn't anymore. For whatever reason. A bunch of stuff is piled on and you don't know what to do with it, and it has robbed you of joy. Being envious of how good God seems to have been to other people and not to you. Being jealous of somebody else's success. Praying for God to answer prayers in this way, and He doesn't. He answers some other way, and the frustration that comes with that. Whatever it is that has robbed you of your joy and you want it back, I invite you to come to the front and say, I'm ready to experience it again. I know what it's like to have that kind of joy in my life, and I want to experience it again. Please help me. Please pray for me. I want that. You're welcome to come share that with us. If you don't move an inch from where you're standing when we sing together, maybe it's just a conversation between you and God right there. God, I've been robbed of joy, and I want it back. Please help me choose it. And I believe God will listen and honor that prayer. Let's be a people who choose joy and put it on display in our lives, starting today. And if we can help you with that, if we can help you do that, we want to. So please come forward if you need to while together we stand and sing.